Welcome to the third model profile video. This one features Dave Marcis' car from the 1991 Daytona 500. At that race, there were 5 cars that showed up on Sponsored, and R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Company, which of course sponsored the series as Winston Cup, put the U.S. military, the 5 branches of the U.S. military on the car. I do have decals for all 5 cars, and I plan to build them all. Dave Marcis' is the first, and so far only one I finished. This is the car that was sponsored by the Coast Guard. The other cars were the Army, Navy, Marines, and Air Force. And the others were Buddy Baker, Mickey Gibbs, Greg Sachs, and Alan Kowicki. Dave started 42nd, which was last on the field, and he only made 40 laps before losing a valve and failing to finish the race. He had a DNF. But he finished higher than 2 of the other military cars. So I guess there's that. The paint on this car is Tamiya French Blue. The decals are from Powerslide. Now, a funny story about this car is back when I first started building NASCAR models, I had painted a car light blue, which was the color that Dave ran with the Big Apple Market scheme, and I got a set of the old J&J decals, and I didn't do any research, unfortunately, and I put the J&J decals for this car on the other body. But unfortunately, this car is a darker blue, Coast Guard blue, I guess you could say, and it wasn't right. So it's been sitting in the box, decaled, for years, but I never did anything with it. So I built the second body, and I still had the number 2s, which you see on the windows. In 1991, for the first several races, I don't remember how many exactly, NASCAR had a different pit strategy resulting from the fatal accident that killed Mike Rich at the 1990 season finale. The cars that started on the even numbers would have number 1, and the cars that started on the the cars that were even were number 2, and the cars that were the odd numbers were number 1. And the cars could only pit when that number was allowed on pit road. It was a complex scheme that didn't go over well, and that's why it was dropped, I believe, after 5 races. But the 2s on this car are the original 1991 issued J&J numbers. Powerslide only included 1 on the decal sheet. You need 2, so I figured that's going to be a nice little nod to my original attempt from back in 04 or 05. The build itself was very straightforward. The decals laid down great, and the Powerslide, they always do. And the paint, of course, being Tamiya, went down pretty well. Unfortunately, as you can see from the video, the right rear wheel took a little damage since I built it in 2020. But the decal markings on the side windows are accurate to how the car started. They really did have the windows taped over on the car at the start of the race. To figure out how they did the numbering system on the windows, I actually had to watch the entire 1991 Daytona 500 on YouTube, but when you're watching that, doing research that lets you watch the entire race, that's not that bad. Actually, they talked about it in the pre-race, so I didn't have to watch the whole race, but I did anyway. Thank you for watching. Bye.